Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome to Parker's Pitch. My name is Parker. I'm very happy for you to be here today. This week I'm previewing Liverpool against Tottenham. And right now, I think both teams are kind of a question mark. We don't really know what to expect. We both have a bunch of injuries right now. And, we're both thinking, what is our formation going to look like? What is Liverpool's formation going to look like? So usually we know what to expect, and right now we're kind of left scratching our heads. So this weekend is definitely an important game. We haven't beat Liverpool since 2017. That's a big deal. We lost to them against the Champions League final. We hate this team. They don't hate us as much as we hate them, I don't think, but we definitely need a win now. Liverpool is struggling. This is really our time to really just get a win and just help our confidence. We haven't beaten a lot of good teams this year yet, so this could be a good chance for us to get our confidence up. We just qualified for the final 16 of the Champions League. This could be a great opportunity for us to remain our confidence and just keep fighting. So this Parker's Pitch, I'm bringing on Steve, and he's somewhat of a neutral. He's a Newcastle fan at heart, but he knows a lot about the league. He knows a lot about football, so he's coming on to talk a little bit about Liverpool to help us understand a little bit of what to expect this weekend against Liverpool. So without further ado, here's my guest, Steve. All right, Steve, you're my guest this week for our game against Liverpool, actually. Tottenham against Liverpool. You are neutral for this, I would say. You're more of a Newcastle fan, obviously. Given your attire, but given your knowledge of football, I thought you'd be a good guest for this segment. So let's talk about Liverpool. Like, where's Liverpool at this time of the season? Seems like they're struggling. Most people would predict at this time of the season they'd be like second, third, maybe. But right now, they're eighth, or they're like 8 points behind fourth. I don't even know where they are now. They're far behind. So talk to me a little bit about Liverpool and where they are this year.
Yeah, they're you are right. 8 points behind Newcastle, who occupy fourth at the moment. God willing, that stays the same. But Liverpool this year, they're paying the price for being unambitious, in my opinion, because why would a top club have guys like Jordan Henderson on your squad? Why would you have guys like Curtis Jones who haven't played? I don't rate Curtis Jones, bro. I don't think he's very good. I wouldn't take him at Newcastle. What's so special about him? I don't see it.
I think he's homegrown, so that's why they have him.
Exactly. No, exactly. Why do you have James Milner? He's also really old, and he's hitting a steady decline. And they got away with it last year, fine. But we're seeing it with Cristiano Ronaldo this year. Once you get a certain age, the decline is like immediate. It happens right away. Like, you can literally be shit from this point on, and you were world class the season before. It's like it literally happens so quickly because your body,
especially in the Premier League too. It's so
100%,
physical and fast, and it can get to you
draining.
Quick. Cristiano Ronaldo is definitely struggling this year.
His decline is like, because he got 20 goals in a shit team last year. The team is better this year. Squad depth, it's worse, but starting 11, they look better. But he can't perform to that because that's just what happens at that age. So when
it's a tough league, it really is.
It is, yeah. And then also a bunch of other guys are declining. Van Dijk. I don't think we'll ever see the Van Dijk that we saw the past few seasons. I don't think, because that injury, ever since the injury, bro, he hasn't looked the same. Really? Whether people like it or not, whether they agree with me or not, that's how I see it, bro.
He's had a lot of criticism this year.
And deservedly so, bro. Yeah. He stood there for some of those goals, but
exactly, yeah. I think the one that stands out to me is the one against Sancho against Manchester United, where he kind of just like stood there and it just went right in, and he just like any defender, would attack or just kind of press
Bro,
you know, the attack.
Trent does the same thing with defending, bro. He'll just stand there sometimes, and it's like, what's going on? And to
Yeah.
me, I don't know what's going on there. I just think that their owners are very unambitious because if you look at their transfer windows, like they bought an unproven kid from Aberdeen for like 10 million. They bought Darwin Nunez, who I don't think he's as bad as people been saying, but he hasn't been great, but he hasn't been horrible. It's down the middle. So like
It
is what
seems to
it
me
is.
that Darwin Nunez doesn't really fit in with the squad. He kind of like wants to do his own thing. Seems like from what I've seen. So like he doesn't really fit. He doesn't like link well. Kind of.
Yeah, he's
Like,
still trying to blend in with the squad, and but
that's
then
true.
you've also got the problem of that like they have so many players that are so injury prone. Thiago, Joe Gomez, Matip, Naby Keita. I mean, those guys are crucial to any success that they have. But the problem is availability is the best ability. Because if you're not if you play world class, but you're never available, what's the point? What's the point?
Yeah.
Thiago's brilliant, but only when he isn't injured. Like
So who is
and
injured
they're
right
too
now
reliant.
for Liverpool? Is Thiago injured? Because I thought I saw him like last weekend or so.
Oh
Um,
yeah, I was just using that as an example, but for injuries I found, so you guys have Romero Kulusevski, he's back in training. Lucas Moura's day to day with a calf injury. Richarlison's day to day with a calf injury, and Son has obviously got the head injury. The
yeah.
Liverpool side of things, it's Milner with a concussion, so
Oh,
mid-November. Joel Matip, calf injury, late November. Luis Diaz with a knee injury, early December. So post World Cup, we'll see him with Liverpool.
okay.
Diogo Jota, a thigh injury. We'll see him after the World Cup. Arthur Melo, who hasn't even played, I don't think anything significant for them. He's injured until late December. And Naby Keita has a thigh injury, but he's back in training. So, like, all those guys are taken away from that squad. And then you've got the likes of Salah, who I think Salah's a good player. I just think he's overrated, bro. He's like a good goal scorer, but as a footballer, like people think that he's something that I just don't think he is. He's a
I
goal
think
scoring winger.
Yeah, I think he needs help. I don't think he can do it on his own.
Yeah.
He's like a Ronaldo in my eyes. Like, I mean, they're obviously different players, but when I mean like, as in he needs help. And right now, midfield for Liverpool is not doing very well. They don't have very many
Mm.
players. And like I said, Nunez, they're not linking well together. And sometimes like football is about relationships, so it's just
Yeah.
not linking up right now between them.
Yeah.
So Salah, yeah, he's a great player, but like when you think of a lot of his goals, look at all of the passes that were gifted to him.
Yeah. I
So
mean, he's there to finish them, but like as a footballer, he's not gonna. There have been a few goals where he's dribbled through a bunch of guys, but like as a footballer, I just don't think he's that great. Like for an example, Alain
yeah,
Saint Maximin is much, 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 much more talented with the ball at his feet than
yeah,
Salah.
okay,
But Salah scores more goals than Allen, so I have to give
yeah,
Salah the advantage there. But like
true.
I just but that's the problem with Salah. He'll work real hard on the team, fine. Like what does he actually offer that Liverpool team that's concrete? If he's not scoring goals or assisting, what does he offer? What does he offer?
I don't know.
So
I mean, him and Mane were so good together. I know a lot.
chemistry.
I know they like had a little bit of a fight,
He's
outside the
kind
pitch.
of
A little bit, yeah. They had a little bit of a rival thing going, but because they were both African, they're both trying to like make the World Cup. They're both rival teams, national wise, but
yeah.
they really like helped each other a lot. They like
They had chemistry.
exactly.
Chemistry, no
So
doubt
he's
about it.
definitely missing that. Who do you think in Liverpool right now in their midfield is their attacking or like creative midfielder? Because right now I'm thinking Henderson is like really all they have right now. that can like create stuff for them.
It doesn't say that Thiago's injured, but like who
Okay,
knows?
well,
Maybe
Thiago
Sunday a mosquito lands on his thigh and he gets injured. Like you never know with him. He's made of glass, bro. And that's the thing about injury prone players. Unless you're R9, you are replaceable. And R9 in 2002 won a almost, or 98, sorry, nearly won the World Cup with Brazil with the freaking huge gash, huge scar on his right leg. He basically won it with one leg. There was no way he should have been able to play, but he did.
Wow.
Like, unless you're doing that kind of thing, that don't slide nowadays in modern football with all the doctors and medical technology that we have available. You wouldn't be able to do something crazy like that.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Unless you're R9 and built like God, then
the only person I can think of that's like R9 is like Ibrahimovic that can just fight through pain, can play no matter what happens. Like he's something else. So,
but ultimately, bro, that is, it's useful in the short term, and football is short term. Give me success now. But if you're trying to have if you're building a long term project, you want to build players around guys who are available consistently. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, if you have an injury, you can't do it, but it's the pattern, and you become injury prone, and then you become damaged goods. So that's my thing with Liverpool. I think they're going through some weird transition. Klopp is making horrible subs also, which have lost them certain games or drawn certain games, like bringing on a Henderson or a Milner. The Leeds game is a huge example. He had no reason to take off Trent Alexander-Arnold, and he brought on Milner. And he always brings on Milner if he isn't starting. Always. You can look on the thing. Always.
It seems like he wants to like help him break the record of the most appearances or something like that.
I don't know, but I think he's too sentimental, bro.
Yeah.
Because Henderson and Milner were good for you the past few years. That's fine, but Klopp needs to realize that he needs midfielders who are young and energetic, and you can't get away anymore with playing Henderson in a midfield and expect to dominate a game and win with this fast-paced attacking football. You can't do it anymore. He's done. Joe Gomez looks a shell of himself, and he's made of paper. Still. He's 25. But he's had like 14 injuries over his career.
My God.
I looked it up earlier, bro. In the 2020-21 season, he was out on like 9 different occasions.
Oh my God.
So that's the thing. Like it's cool to have him as like a 5th choice center back. No, he's their 2nd choice. Konate is also a bit injury prone. Van Dijk's form has fallen off. Robertson, I think he's a great player, but like I think his form's kind of dipping. There are games where he's anonymous. The fullbacks that they use to attack are not putting up crazy numbers anymore. It's just like, and Firmino is getting on in age, and it's just like they're coming to an end of a cycle, in my opinion. They really are.
Maybe. And I am worried about their wingbacks though. They are, very dangerous. I mean, Robertson just works really hard.
Yeah, he does. Yeah,
he puts in a lot of crosses too. But I also wanted to talk about Tottenham a little bit too, because, obviously, like our front pack is kind of like struggling a little bit, right? So Son just got out injured, obviously with the fractured eye. We know that. Richarlison is out. Kulusevski might be coming back. That's kind of like questionable, but even Kane, even though he is, still, fit, he's only had like 4 shots in the last 3 games. Or something crazy like that. So he's struggling. Like our front 3 or whatever is struggling. What do you think about that? I mean, do you think Liverpool can really just like, capitalize on that? Just play defense and just.
I don't know. I think Tottenham are gonna have to do counterattacking football just for the sake of all the injuries, bro. Like they don't.
Yeah.
if you don't have Romero, if you don't
You
have
have to give it
Son
to
in
Kane,
front of
right?
him.
Like,
Yeah,
but who's Kane gonna give it to? Kane usually like looks for like Son or somebody,
exactly.
and
I
they're
like
not
Brian.
there.
I like Brian Heel a lot. He's a good player, but like he still needs to find his feet in the Prem. But like,
I think he's gonna get a chance, and sometimes when injuries happen, this is how like some talent, gets discovered.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
Obviously, he's no secret. We know how talented he is. And he's played for Spain for like a couple years before, so
hmm
we know how good he is. He's played, a few minutes already for
yeah,
Tottenham, so he creates fouls, he creates a lot of stuff.
yeah,
So yeah, he's definitely like not vulnerable. Sorry, he's definitely valuable.
yeah.
So yeah, he's definitely going to get some minutes, I think, because
He
of all these
has
injuries.
to. It can't. Conte can't be stubborn about not wanting to give youth a chance because that's another
He
consistent thing
doesn't have
out
a
of
choice at
Conte.
this point, does he?
Yeah, you don't have a choice. You don't have a choice. So
Yeah.
I don't know. How would you set up for Sunday? 3-5-2?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I put Basuma in there as well, in the midfield with
Yeah.
Bentancur and Højbjerg, just because we're lacking some players up front. We have to put Kane and Lucas up there
Yeah.
and start. And I know Lucas is, like you said in the beginning, is struggling with I think a calf injury.
Yeah.
So man, he's probably not going to play more than like 55 minutes. They'll probably sub him off first. And I'm thinking hopefully Kulusevski will be on the bench and we can bring him
Mm.
on in the
Problem is
55th minute.
hamstring. Problem is hamstring.
Yeah,
But
I know you don't want to.
the one thing that that reason why you would be likely to risk him is that Sweden aren't in the World Cup. So
What does
at
he have to
least if
lose?
he got injured, there's never
Yeah,
there is kind of a good time to get injured in terms of least damaging. Like if you're gonna miss, there are only a few games, 3 games left to the World Cup and like all the other competitions. You may as well miss out, and you aren't in the World Cup anyway, so you may as well take all that time to recover. So that's
yeah,
a Conte decision he's gonna have to make, bro.
exactly. And we'll see. Like the training staff knows better, and we'll
Yeah,
see. And if he's on the bench, then he could probably play like 45 minutes if
yeah,
he needs to.
yeah,
So, maybe he'll, if we really need him in, the 65th minute, maybe he'll come in and play. So, if we need, a last minute goal or something, because, Tottenham, seem to do that recently.
yeah.
So anyway, sorry, my cat wants to say hi. Hi, baby. Um, but yeah, no, it'll be definitely a tough game. And like I said earlier, I'm really worried about those wing backs
Mm.
on Liverpool because just Robertson just scares me on that
Mm.
left hand side. He just scares me.
No,
So
Robertson's good, but like I said, bro, everyone on Liverpool this year's taking a steep decline, honestly. I mean, they've got Fabio Carvalho too. He's a good young player, but like the thing why you should be optimistic, and I'll give you a reason to be pessimistic, but first we'll start with the good side of things for you guys is that
yeah,
they look very vulnerable right now in terms of
yeah,
their injuries and the way they're playing and all that stuff. And also, you're also it's also going to help you guys out with the fact that Klopp makes these subs that screw over his own team for whatever reason. Fabinho's not in great form either, and he was a monster, the past few seasons for them. So, but
exactly.
the problem is why you guys should be a bit worried is you haven't beaten them at home since 2017.
Yeah, what is that like 5.5 years now?
Yeah.
It's
So
crazy.
I mean, you drew with them last year 2-2. You had
And we haven't really beat a decent team this year. Like I've said that a couple times in our
yeah.
chats and stuff. We haven't beat a good team yet this year.
Lost
Like
to
if we
Man
can beat,
United away, lost to Arsenal away, lost to Newcastle at home, lost to you haven't played Man City yet.
we were going to, and it got
Right.
postponed or something. But
Right.
yeah,
Right.
it could have been a good challenge for us. But if we can beat Liverpool, that'll give us a good,
Yeah.
it'll give us a good
The
run.
decent teams you've beaten this year have been in the UCL.
Yeah. We
Because
haven't done anything crazy yet.
I rate the 3 teams you played. They're
We
good
we
teams.
barely beat Brighton.
Yeah.
There's some teams like,
Right now played you thoroughly.
yeah, exactly. We're just not playing well, but we're getting
You got
results
the
somehow.
win, but you were out. Yeah, yeah.
We're still third
Chelsea was a
somehow.
draw. Chelsea was a draw too.
Yeah. So I'm thinking my prediction is that it'll be a draw.
Yeah,
That's
me too.
what I'm really thinking. I think it'll be like 1-1
Yeah.
or 2-2. What do you think?
No, I'm gonna go 1-1. I'm gonna go 1-1, bro, because at the same time, even like I just said, Spurs shouldn't feel optimistic about beating Liverpool at home. But you guys have at least drawn with them in the past since 2017. Last year, obviously, when they were much better.
Yeah.
And also, Liverpool, besides the UEFA Champions League, they haven't won a game away from home in the Premier League. They've taken 2 points from a possible 16, I believe.
Wow.
So, yeah, those include draws away to Fulham. Those include draws with who the hell else? They had Leeds beat them, but no, Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest beat them 1-0 at the City Ground. 3-2 Arsenal. They couldn't beat Everton at Goodison Park 0-0. Man United, they lost 2-1. Fulham draw. So it's like they're not a good away team when it comes to the Premier League.
That's something that we can look forward to, Tottenham fans. So this is a time, I think, if we could ever beat Liverpool, this is a good time to do it.
But it's also not a good time because of all your injuries.
I know, and
which is a bummer because if you were full strength, even if Liverpool were full strength, I might take you to win.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go for a draw though, just based off of how you guys are playing. You're making hard work of Bournemouth, Sporting Club de Portugal, Marseille.
We like to start slow and try to work off the back foot and try to come back in the games, which is not a good tactic. So, but it's not a tactic. It's just something we have to deal with. So we've been conceding first in a lot of the games. So,
and which is weird because that's Liverpool's bad habit as well.
Interesting.
So I mean, they if you actually look at their last 20 Premier League games, I can bet you in the first 17 of them. In 17 of those, I bet you, besides the Bournemouth 9-0 win, they've conceded first. They concede the first goal a lot. They come back and win a lot, at home at least. But they're not that team from last year.
Yeah, that's where I was gonna kind of transition to. So I think Liverpool and Tottenham are a team that we could probably predict this, the lineup. I would say at the beginning of the year, but now I think things have changed so much. What do you think Liverpool's lineup looks like as far as formation wise?
Yeah. All right. So obviously then again they've done 4-2-3-1. So, okay, I'll go. No, let me look at what they did for their game.
Firmino is definitely a player that's come in.
Yeah, Firmino, I think. So let's see here. When they played Napoli, they played in a 4-3-3. So they had Alisson, Trent, Ibrahima Konate, Van Dijk, Tsimikas. I think that back five will be the same, except Tsimikas will go out for Robertson. Then you'll have their midfield three against Napoli was Milner, Fabinho, Thiago. I'm assuming they'll rotate Henderson. So I think it'll be Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago. That'll be their midfield three. And then a front three, they went with Mo Salah off the right, Firmino central, and Curtis Jones off the left. I think that they're going to go Salah, Darwin Nunez, and Who's the guy I'm trying to think of? Jesus Christ. Fabio Carvalho. So in summary, a 4-3-3, Allison in goal, Trent off the right,
Yeah.
Ibrahima Konate, Van Dijk, Robertson. That's your back four. Midfield three of Jordan Henderson, Fabinho, Thiago. Front three of Mo Salah, Nunez, and Fabio Carvalho. That would be probably my pick.
Okay, so yeah, that'll probably be like what it is, honestly.
Something like
I mean,
that.
if they rest, because like it's a really good chance that if they rest them during the Champions League games, they're going to play during the Premier League.
Yeah.
Coming up. So because games are coming up so quick, everyone's tired. Every single league is like this, so everyone's tired. We could see it at the end of Tottenham's game against Marseille. Marseille just looked absolutely exhausted at the end of that game when we scored that last goal. So, this season is definitely one of those games, or definitely one of these seasons where we got to rotate and we got to be careful with injuries. So, because they're racking up, they really are throughout the whole, throughout all of Europe.
Now what's your lineup for Spurs considering all your injuries?
Yeah, no, that's a good one. So Romero is out, I believe. So it'll be Dyer in center back. Lenglet will be in there. And I think Sanchez will play on that right instead of Romero. So
Sanchez, Dyer, Longley.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I think. So we'll see. Davies did pretty well actually against Bournemouth in our last Premier League game. So I could see him coming in too. Actually, no, I'm going to change that. I think Davies is actually going to play
instead of Longley.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think Davies is going to play now that I think about it.
Okay.
He had a little break during the Champions League, so he'll play. Sessegnon will be on the left. So he'll be.
There's some rest. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Yep, and like always, we'll put Royale on the right. He had a little bit of a break. He didn't start against Marseille, so he came in a little later. So yeah, he's rested a little bit. He'll play, and then we can't change our midfield right now. Højbjerg, Bentancur, then we'll put Basuma in there as a third midfielder.
Yeah,
so we'll do the 3-5-2.
Does Oliver Skip deserve to start or no?
Not yet. I don't think. He could start, I would say, in November 9th, I think, against Nottingham Forest.
Right.
I could see him starting there just to get some minutes in. Not that because I think he's not good enough to play in a Champions League game. I just don't think he's fit enough yet. Yeah. So he just needs a little bit more minutes to get back into the swing of things. And, he'll be, hopefully he'll be that third midfielder. Over Basuma, I think. Yeah, so then Lucas, if he's fit enough, I think he is. I don't know. He's kind of questionable right now, but he'll be up there, I think, with Kane. If not, I don't know. I mean, we really don't have that many options, so.
Probably got to play Brian Hill or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
He usually plays on kind of like a midfield right side, like an attacking right. Almost like a number 10, honestly. So,
right.
Yeah, no, we'll see. It's definitely it's an interesting game. We put in a bunch of different stats of why this is it could go either way for both of us. And, just with injuries right now, just in the World Cup coming, there's just so many games. So.
Oh, yeah. 100%, bro.
Yeah, so we'll definitely see. But what else do you have to bring up? Other than that, I mean, that's all I have. So
yeah, same here. But yeah, like I said to you, bro, I think it's gonna be a draw. Just because.
Yeah.
I don't think your form of great performance-wise has been that great. And same for Liverpool. Really. So I think they'll just cancel each other out. To be honest. You guys don't beat them at home very often, but they don't win many away games. So that, to me, screams a draw, right?
It does. It does. I would
Yeah.
really love a win so much. I would love a win, but I don't know, man. We haven't won any games, against any good clubs that actually are decent this year. So we just
Yeah.
had a Champions League game. So, we're kind of like in the mood a little bit to win. And, we played a tough team that really wanted it. So,
Yeah.
we'll see, man. This is one of those weekends you never know. And that's a lot of the times that's how it is with Spurs. We never really know what to expect with Spurs. So,
Sure.
yeah.
100%, bro.
All right. Well, that about wraps it up. Steve, thanks for coming on and talking about Liverpool, even though, they're not your club, but you know a lot. So appreciate you coming on.
No problem, bro. Thank you for having me on. Appreciate it.
And you'll probably be on, again sometime in the future.
Of course. Of course, bro. Sounds good.
All right. Take care.
Break it down.